Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. We're back for another Wednesday on the early morning coffee talks. Man, this week starting off not too bad, not too bad at all. Been cold here in Atlanta. Man, I don't know what's going on, but you know what? It's crazy. What thing about Atlanta is I've been here all my life. The weather's not getting different. It's just I'm getting older and starting to really understand it. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's getting any different. I would say the only thing that has really been escalating is the pollen. During pollen season, it just got more and more worse. I think I know why, but we'll wait to pollen season. We'll talk more about that. But for now, like I said, it's definitely getting colder. But the thing about us, it doesn't last long. Typically, we do about 9 months of hot, 3 months of cold. That's kind of how we operate in the 12-month cycle. But other than that, it's been pretty good, man. But hopefully it doesn't snow. It's potential to snow as well, but we'll see. But with all that, with it being cold, that brings me into this early morning topic is don't let fear make your decisions, or stop letting fear make your decisions. The thing about fear, man, that I'm learning, it's very sneaky. It's like our body's a machine, right? The way we're designed. Fear is just a mechanism to a response. Like when it comes for me, like I hate being fearful, man, and it's only because I have to be, like, in a sense, and I'm overcoming it. I'm learning to even overcome the design, the input in my system that was already installed. You know what I mean? Like it's same thing like anger, right? Anger is installed, or sadness is installed in your system. However, based on our mind, we can command our mind. We can attempt to overcome it, and it's still like if a lion chasing you, you're gonna feel something, right? But most of us is not in the jungle. Most of us are in this corporate jungle world, right? We're running around this brick jungle, so to say, the world we built around us. But the thing about, like I said, fear is very sneaky. It can stop us from taking chances and like making progress in our lives, and we have to really notice it. And that it's very sneaky. Sometimes we just think it's not even fear; just think us just being safe. But the truth of the matter is it only controls you if you let it. It only controls you if you let it. So like let's kind of not even deep dive, but let's kind of just talk about why we need to break free from it and kind of like choose courage. You know, the thing about fear, man, we think that it protects us, but it's really pretending, and it's really holding a lot of us back when it comes to that. And when you think about like family members and stuff, they're like, "Oh, don't do that." It's not gonna work out, or friends and stuff like that. A lot of times, that's them not even hating or whatever. It's them because they feel like they're protecting you, because they feel like what they've done in life is the safe route, you know? And so they'll be like, oh, don't eat this, it may give you cancer, but all the while, you know what I'm saying, they're overweight or stuff like that. And that's just what they've been taught. And so it just keeps domino affecting. But at some point, you have to look at things from a different lens and say, okay, is this really protecting me, or am I just being fearful because it's unknown? Like I don't know what the outcome's gonna be, right? Even with that, it's like it kind of fear also kind of sounds like excuses. Like, oh, what if I fail in this that I'm attempting to do, or what if I'm not ready? That was me. It was like I was kind of at one point like not even afraid to fail, but afraid to succeed, because I didn't know like who the person I would become. I was comfortable in my old self, right? I was fearful to change, to be successful. That I remember reading that in the book like fear isn't just a failure, it's a success as well. Because a lot of us, I know for me, I didn't know if I could like hold the weight of success, you know. I knew like what I think a lot of us know what failure feels like. And I had a lot of feelings of failure, especially when I played sports. You miss a tackle, you drop a pass, right? Or you miss your rep range from like your new PR, you know, or you missed a play, like you didn't run the play right. You missed a block. You know, you learn failure, or maybe you get a good grades. For those who didn't play sports, you thought you was gonna get a B, you end up getting a C, right? You thought you was gonna get a 90 on the test, you end up getting a 70. Like stuff like, we all taste failure, but the success part, man, is very different, very different. I just think it's the fear of not knowing what the outcome gonna be, not knowing what's around the corner, because we've tasted failure so much we don't really understand what success looks like. Anyway, but with that being said, your comfort zone, it just feels safe, man. It feels safe. But I'll say this, what I've learned is nothing's gonna grow there. You being comfortable, I'm looking back at these last like 9 going into 10 months of my journey of really locking in and committing. I didn't grow. I did not grow being comfortable, staying where I was. You know, it was no growth in that situation. But I look at where I am now, fast forward, it's like, man, I've started my YouTube. I've lost like almost 70 pounds now. Getting more respect, just gaining things versus being in the status quo. I'm gaining, I'm growing, right? I can just tell it's so much other things too that I haven't even said on YouTube, because that's not what my channel's about, right? But when I look at it in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, okay, when I was fearful, what is even that teaching me? What is being fearful teaching me versus not being fearful? That's a powerful thing as well. Is we like right now, I'm like, okay, I know what being consistent is teaching me, right? I know what discipline is teaching me. But when you was being when I was being comfortable, what was fear teaching me? Right? Nothing. You know what? I ain't gonna say that. I would say it was probably teaching me that maybe I need to make a video on this. What does fear teach you? And what does success teach you? That'd be a great video. Maybe I'm gonna say that. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna deep dive into that, because that's powerful, man. What is fear teaching you? All right, versus success. Yeah, we're gonna pin that for tomorrow. Anyway, we're gonna keep it going. But it is a great question. What is fear teaching you? All right. Now I would say the thing that made me start to get away from fear was action, man. Was action. It didn't matter how small it was or how big it was, but shout out to the small actions, because remember some of my videos, if you guys been watching for a while, I've always said, you know, I've been taught that, you know, game is a game. Life is a game of inches, right? Same thing. I learned this in football early on. Like, even my coach was saying that, was like, hey man, this game, we inches. That's how the field's marked. You have to understand what stage you're playing on. Right, the field is a game of inches, and so as I'm going through this journey, the small wins matter too. I would say even more than the big wins, because even to lead up to big wins, you need the small actions. But if you're fearful, you won't even see how important the small actions are. You always and that was my thing. I was like, here's a perfect example, right? A lot of us like, all right, 2025, you know, I'm gonna start big. I'm gonna go into 2025 out the gate running, versus, you know, crawling before you walk. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks or in 1 month. Like, you didn't even gain it that quick. You know what I mean? So I think that's a lot of times, and we operate from a place of fear, because like, oh man, I want to go on this vacation. I I don't want nobody to see me this way. I gotta attempt to lose weight, blah blah blah. And that's just from a place, we operate from a place of fear versus saying, you know what, I'm not worried about what people think. Me, I'm just gonna put the work in and then let the results show, and then let people think what they want to think. All right. And last thing before we get up out here, I don't want this video to be too long, is one thing I learned about fear, right? It's gonna always exist, but it doesn't have to make your decisions, right? And again, that's just the way we design. We're gonna have all these different emotions, and fear is one of them. It's always gonna be there, you know. However, you can overcome it, and again, it doesn't have to make your decisions. It doesn't. So before I go, man, fear is loud, you know, but I would say that for me, courage speaks louder. So, you know, man, look, take one step today and prove fear wrong. Again, remember, it's the small actions. Overcome one fearful decision today, and I think you'll start to be on your way. And so with that, hey, drop a comment below. You know, if it's your first time, subscribe to the Husband Code. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe to the Husband Code. If you got any value from this video, hit that like button. And, you know, hey, hit that notification bell. We're dropping videos like this every single day. And until next time, hey, I greatly appreciate you guys. Much love. And y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll check with y'all later today. Peace.